Have you ever wondered why a medical claim gets rejected or denied even when the service was actually provided correctly? The problem may be just one missing or incorrect piece of information on the claim form, and that is why you must understand what the CMS 1500 form is and how it is used in medical billing. If you are working in the US Healthcare RCM industry, you may already be aware of the CMS 1500 form. But do you know why this form is so important? So let me tell you. The CMS 1500 form is mainly used to submit professional or non-institutional medical claims. For example, when a physician or other eligible healthcare professional provides a service and bills the insurance company, the claim information is generally submitted using the CMS 1500 claim format. But for institutional or hospital facility billing, we generally use the UB04 form. Now, here is the important part. In medical billing, whether it is CMS 1500 or UB04, these claim forms are the foundation of a clean medical claim. Think about it like this. When you send a parcel, you need the correct name, correct address, and correct delivery information. If even one important detail is wrong, your parcel may not reach the correct destination. The same thing happens with a medical claim because the CMS 1500 form contains important claim information such as patient details, insured information, diagnosis codes, date of service, place of service, CPT or HCPCS codes, modifiers, charges, rendering provider information, and billing provider details. And here is where many beginners make a mistake. They think it is just a claim form. No, every field has a purpose. For example, Box 21 contains diagnosis codes. Box 24D contains CPT or HCPCS codes and applicable modifiers. Box 24E connects the service to the diagnosis through the diagnosis pointer. Box 24J identifies the rendering provider when applicable, and Box 33 contains billing provider information. Now imagine the CPT code is correct, but the diagnosis pointer is incorrect, or the rendering provider NPI is missing or invalid. The service may have actually been performed correctly, but the claim can still be rejected or denied because the billing information is incomplete or incorrect. That is why in real medical billing, we don't just ask, was the service provided? We also ask, was the claim billed correctly? So remember this simple line. CMS 1500 is not just a form. It is the story of a professional medical service translated into claim data for the payer. And if that story is incomplete, inaccurate, or inconsistent, your payment can be delayed. That is the real importance of the CMS 1500 form in medical billing. Now, let me explain the CMS 1500 form from start to end in very simple language. The CMS 1500 form has 33 numbered boxes, also called item numbers, and some boxes have additional subfields. But you don't need to memorize all the boxes blindly. You just need to understand the story that claim forms and its boxes tells you. For example, boxes 1 to 13 mainly tell us who is the patient and who is responsible for the insurance. Box 1 identifies the insurance type. Boxes 1A to 5 contain insured and patient information such as ID number, name, date of birth, sex, and address. Boxes 6 to 11 explain the patient's relationship to the insured and policy or group information. Box 10 tells us whether the condition is related to employment, an auto accident, or another accident. And boxes 12 and 13 are related to patient or insured authorization and benefit information. Now comes the clinical part. Boxes 14 to 20 contain important information such as date of current illness or injury, other relevant dates, referring provider information, hospitalization dates, and additional claim information. Box 21 is very important. This is where diagnosis codes are reported. Box 22 is commonly used for claim resubmission information. Box 23 may contain a prior authorization or referral number. Now look at box 24. This is the heart of the service line information. Here you can see the date of service, place of service, CPT or HCPCS code, modifiers, diagnosis pointer, charges, units, and rendering provider details. And finally, boxes 25 to 33 contain tax ID, patient account number, total charges, amount paid, provider signature information, service facility details, and billing provider information. So, while handling denials, you don't need to read the complete CMS 1500 form. You just need to check the required boxes based on the denial you are working on. For example, to check patient eligibility, you need to review the patient and insurance information in boxes 1 to 11. For an authorization denial, you need to check box 23 and also verify the authorization details in the payer portal or authorization records. For a diagnosis related denial, you need to check box 21 and the diagnosis pointer in box 24E. Similarly, for CPT or modifier related denials, you can go directly to box 24D. For a place of service issue, check box 24B. For a rendering provider issue, review box 24J. And for a billing provider issue, you can check box 33. That's how an experienced AR caller or denial handler reads a claim. We don't just see 33 boxes. We see patient information, insurance information, clinical information, services billed, and provider information all connected in one claim. Once you understand this claim map, reading the CMS 1500 form becomes much easier and faster. Have you ever wondered serious about getting a job in medical billing, AR calling, or denial management? You're in the right place. Subscribe now and learn the practical skills that help you crack interviews with confidence.